There's a warning that the amount of video footage online involving the sexual abuse of children has risen more than tenfold since the start of the COVID pandemic. A charity, the Internet Watch Foundation, says paedophiles took advantage of the surging popularity of social media apps and chat websites during lockdown. Well, we're joined by NetClean CEO Anna Borgström. NetClean specialises in detecting online child sexual abuse material in the workplace. Anna, thank you very much for joining us. Tell us, how do you detect this material?
So we detect this material based on the digital fingerprint that we get from law enforcement and trusted sources around the world. So we protect businesses, IT environment and IT systems against this type of material. And what we see at NetClean is that the social media has opened up a portal between a child and their bedroom and an abuser on the other side of the world. And our data shows very similar pattern to what the Internet Watch Foundation has found, which means the increased offending and increased harm to children that is driven by the pandemic lockdowns.
Just how often, how many people are accessing this sort of material?
So before the pandemic, our data showed that 1 in 500 people were consuming child sexual abuse material with a corporate device. And of course, since the pandemic, it has massively increased the number of digital devices in the world because of the hybrid workplace we have now. And we know that the abusers will use these devices because in a hybrid working world, they see them as more private.
How can you use the data that your software generates to intervene and to rescue children at risk?
So when an alarm is triggered in an IT environment, there is a notification within the corporate security office, and they can do a more sort of thorough analysis of the findings, and they can collate the findings in a report that they send to law enforcement, and that report very much helps law enforcement prioritize their work. So when a report is sent to law enforcement, they can easily open up an investigation. And when they do that, they often find newly produced material and can also safeguard children that lives in abusive environments. And then the legal system can also, of course, send the abuser to prison.
A lot of this abuse content is spread through encrypted forums and on the dark web. How then can you get through those barriers to ensure that the perpetrators are found and brought to justice?
Well, that's a good question. It's about protecting the endpoint, and if you think about it, if we are going to combat child sexual abuse material online, I think that everyone that has some sort of internet connectivity or connected devices have to do what they can in order to stop this problem and stop the spread of the material. And when it comes to our software in the corporate environment, we don't care where the image comes from, because as soon as it lands on the computer, we can detect it. So we know, for example, that a lot of this material is found over the dark web and under other encrypted forums, which also open up the company to other types of risks like malware or other types of damaging code into the IT systems. And I would also say that it's actually an insider risk for businesses to have people that consume child sexual abuse material with the work computer, because if someone finds out that the person has a sexual interest in children, they can use that information in order to get into more company sensitive information, etc.
Anna Borgström from NetClean, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.